going on consistent now in the bans of NGX. The Yuumi not being let open at all, similar to game number 1.
Also, the Zoe has to be respected by NGX. Game phase on for Juschie. What would be the last ban here for Trace Esports? That would be the Olaf.
Oh, okay.
But that's still okay. Like, you cannot target Juschie whatsoever in the draft just because of how flexible this guy is. In the previous months that we've seen him, he has elevated himself to really a top-tier jungler, not just here in the Philippines, but possibly the whole world.
Absolutely. Zoe's gonna be left open though. If they do ban out this Galio. Gwen is up, maybe they can trade it out. That leaves only 2 top supports that we have been seeing so far in this tournament in Senna and APAC. You know, the Nautilus and the Gragas ready to set and play here for both Draw and Feng. They are going to be prioritizing the Jayce here actually, given that it's open. It was fortunate and Aaron had a massive performance in this champion earlier.
I think that's his best champion regardless, right? His Jayce will definitely be impactful from laning phase up until the late game. And that's often, you know, that's not something that you often hear. Oftentimes, you know, Jayce really scales down. Now, this is huge because looking at the record of Chinese teams with Zoe, this is not an exaggeration, right? Their win rate is close to 100% on this champion.
Yes.
And this is very scary if you're NGX. Yes, you have a corresponding poke in the Jayce, and you have the all-in potential coming from the Nautilus. But the Zoe is still a Zoe.
So far in this tournament, we have seen 100% win rate of a Zoe as well. J-Team under win against KT, JDG against WBG as well yesterday. So it's going to be a scary situation for NGX. Hopefully, they are going to be able to break the barrier and the stats here. Especially right now, we're also going to be seeing a Senna here for Trace Esports.
This is a mid lane Zoe, similar to what we saw yesterday, right? And I actually see the angle of NGX winning just because of the laning phase. Jayce should win, even the Zed. It really depends on what NGX plans to do here in the mid lane, but all you have to do is to have that kill threat against the Zoe in the mid lane. Things should go into your favor, right? Like, the wave clear of Zoe is not that big compared to the Ziggs. And if you're the Zoe, your health total, or basically what I'm trying to say is, if you're the Zoe, you're very squishy, and you can easily be targeted down.
Having the Senna would provide, you know, the additional shields and some sustain with a heal, but it's still going to be a scary thing because you have now 2 champions that might need to scale up first, since they don't necessarily have damage that much in the early game, versus this lineup of NGX that's heavily being invested on early game, having the Zed, Nautilus as well, and the Jayce. They are going to be looking for ways to gain momentum early on into the game and prevent Trace Esports forever scaling.
Renekton being the answer by NGX, is this enough? Not only do they have the Zoe, Senna is also going to be very scary because of the global presence. Is this going to be another Ashe showing? It's possible, right?
Maybe NGX can actually pick it up once again. You know, Demonkite had a beautiful performance with those enchanted crystal arrows earlier, and we'll take it again.
Yeah, and you have to match global, the global presence of Senna by at least having your own global, right? Like, Ashe at least would have an enchanted crystal arrow that could be the bigger difference maker, or the difference maker on the side lane. That's how NGX won game number 1. They were helped a lot by NGX Demonkite. And if it happens again on game number 2, I will allow it. Right? That's okay.
Especially with the movement of Trace Esports, right? Sneaking up objectives against them, and you know, you would want to try as much as possible to have vision around them, because if not, you might be surprised in what they are actually going to be able to do. Like Rose a while ago in game number 1, you know, going in onto them with a fate sealed whenever left unchecked, and that Ashe is going to help them so much if ever they do pick it up. I'm not so sure what they have picked up so far in the last picks on both Trace Esports and NGX, but I am excited to see whoever they are going to be getting for the conclusion of this draft.
We'll be seeing the draft in a bit. I believe there's just some technical difficulty. Maybe some suspense moments happening here, Guillaume, because yeah, it feels like that there's something happening on stage, and we have to wait for the conclusion of the drafting phase. But so far, again, with what we have seen in the past couple of games, the Chinese teams has played on the Zoe. It does feel like an auto win for them. I hate to say auto win, but it does feel like, you know, this Zoe, when played by the Chinese squads, they can just find angles that shouldn't be there at all, right? Like Battle Stars connecting, low cooldowns as well. You can easily say that Zoe here and Wild Rift is just a more annoying champion than what we used to see back in LoL PC.
Yeah, that is, I can't stress enough how scary it is to see a Zoe being picked up by a CN team, because it really has a high win rate. And maybe, you know, this is what I'm hoping right now for NGX, because they left the Zoe open. They let it be picked up by Trace Esports. They should have a plan in mind how to actually deal with it so far. With the picks that they have, picking up the Zed, the Jayce, and Nautilus, maybe if they can track him down, maybe if they can bully the Zoe, then the damage will be negligible in a sense. Especially that there is a double scaling champion on the side of Trace Esports, Senna as well. You know, it would take some time for them to pop off. If you can cut their path and make it even harder for them to scale up, then that is gonna benefit NGX so much in this game. But if Trace Esports are able to scale up and avoid some of those early aggression, especially that Aaron or Juschie might be picking up the Zed for themselves, then the Zed will be held negligible. That is gonna be a nightmare for NGX, especially when the sustain of Trace Esports is gonna be massive in the late game.
Always going to be a problem facing against the Senna in the late game, right? Is it going to a point in where this Senna would approach the unbeatable territory? Would we be seeing Zoe hitting his targets left and right past 20 minutes? That will happen soon as we are done with the draft, which has stopped with us getting 4 picks for both Trace and Nigma Galaxy. But we see the win condition for both sides, right? Especially with Renekton, Zed, and Jayce being picked up for NGX. They want to win the side lanes. They want to get priorities left and right, and they want their junglers or whatever Juschie goes on to choose would have easier access to gank paths left and right. Because again, in game number 1, if you just tuned in, that start in game number 1 was definitely in favor of Trace Esports. It just so happened that NGX stuck through and was able to crawl themselves back into a win.
Okay, we are back. Earlier, NGX did pick off a Renekton, possibly for Hyde, and they will pick it up once again. I think we just had a reset in the epic bans because of a tech issue, but now we do see it coming online once again. And instead of a Riven that was being hovered by Wind a while ago, now they are actually thinking of picking up a Fiora. And whoa, speaking of sustain, are they gonna be locking this in? They do. Whoa, first Dr. Mundo.
What? Okay. Alright, so I just played this champion just a couple of hours ago. It was an ERAM. But we'll see. Okay. Alright, Tak would be playing it in the jungle. It's been a long time since we've seen Dr. Mundo in the jungle. And if you're going to ask me, the gank pressure will definitely be there. You would be able to tank for days on this champion, but I'm not 100% sure this is the perfect fit for them. Right? There is still an absolute way for the Dr. Mundo to die with the all-in potential and damage potential coming from NGX side. Oftentimes, you will see a Dr. Mundo be more effective against AP champions because it's actually a perfect fit for him going for Spirit's Visage, right, as his item buy. But against AD champions, it's a lot easier to chunk him down.
Although, he struggles on AD champions, specifically fighters. And on the side here of NGX, it's not really entirely the case. We do see a Zed, we do see a Jayce. Maybe, the Jayce can do wonders, but I don't think the Dr. Mundo would be the target here of the Jayce. And it is going to be actually Juschie utilizing the Jayce. Though that is going to be in trouble. Okay, you pick up the Dr. Mundo, you better be ready for that invade. They do get the damage done and immediately interferes with his scaling.
I mean, how much of this is because Weiba wasn't or isn't present, right? Like, you have to look into the lineup of Trace Esports, and we have to remember that Weiba is their superstar jungler. Wind forced to flash away here, and again, the invade is continuing for the side of NGX. Level advantage for Juschie.
That as well gonna be needing some help from the support to clear his waves faster, especially after that early mishap. But we do see Trace Esports kind of winning in the laning phase. Lisao going a little bit aggressive here onto Hyde, as Aaron as well has taken a bit of damage earlier in the mid lane because of the pokes here of Rose. So lots of assistance might be needed here by the solo laners of NGX if ever they do want to set the tempo here in this game.
At least now Wit is helping out Tak get something out of the jungle of Juschie, because Juschie has just started to really dominate the jungle matchup. Hyde though could easily be dove here. Giyang. Oh no!
Red line gonna be connecting, and that's gonna be really bad for Lisao. Overzealous diving onto Hyde, did not expect Draw to be there in top lane.
Wait, okay, so first thing that happened there was Hyde's Ruthless Predator was parried out. And crowd control will be present. Another kill for NGX, and what a start for them. NGX Hyde even survives in the process, but then again, what a series of events for them, Giyang. What a lucky exchange overall. 2-0 for the Filipino squad.
And so unlucky for Trace Esports. They wanted to dive. That could have been the best possible case there to gank Hyde, but it became a nightmare. And NGX, they're now 1,200 up.
And with this lineup, if you go ahead, chances are it will be easy to execute this.
3 versus 3, but Lisao is all alone. Parries away, but no flash anymore to escape. Here comes Stack, but what can you do when you're Dr. Mundo?
Nothing.
You have no crowd control. And that is just disastrous here for Trace Esports.
Juschie already level 5. You can feel the pressure. They want to dive in and kill Tak. What?
When is gonna be the next target? Oh, everything is just a victim here on the side of Trace Esports.
That's what, 6 kills, 5 kills already for the side of NGX. And now getting tower plates on top of that. Lisao is not allowed to play Wild Rift at all.
Oh no! Trace Esports, what is happening? NGX, they just cracked the code here of Trace Esports. Now you pick up the Dr. Mundo, you're gonna be suffering in the early game massively. Especially with the ceiling.
And they know, at level 4, Dr. Mundo is defenseless. One of the champions that you need your ultimate to be up and running in order for your effectiveness to be up there.
That's the stakes. Ooh, nice dodge actually with the flash. The efforts there will be nulled. But still NGX having the priority in absolutely everything. Every single lane is winning right now for them.
And if you're Juschie, the map has just opened up, right? Every single time that you see resources up for the taking on the jungle side of Trace Esports, you would be there. And the best way to really go for this invades is for you to have your support back you up. And we all know how Draw plays around Juschie. He's going to be there to support his jungler. And I don't know, I mean, looking at the scaling side of things, I know that Trace Esports still has a chance. But this start, this 3k advantage for NGX, it will be a miracle if they lose this one out.
4-0 onto Juschie as well. You give a Jayce 4 kills. Dude. Oh my gosh, that shock blast is gonna hurt so much.
There's a reason why this player was scouted by the Chinese region. There's a reason why he was offered a contract by JDJ. An APAC player, a Southeast Asian player that was with the team of JDG before joining NGX. He's like the superstar that we have here in the Philippines, and he's living up to the hype so far.
Definitely hyping up this game as well as his damage comes through. Ganks really doing the work on the side lanes.
Look at them.
They're not done. Back, but this is going to be disastrous for them. They do get the Infernal Dragon, but at what cost? Tak is trying to survive. Will not, of course. You get the dragon for 2 casualties? I'm not even sure that's gonna be worth it.
And also has the Rift Herald that you can easily play towards the mid lane to open up the map even more. Bros, this is a sad game for Zoe. A Zoe that doesn't have any space to connect her sleepy bubbles. Her paddle stars is definitely a useless Zoe. As we look into the replay, the all-in potential from Demonkite and Draw should not even be possible at this point because of the advantage that they got. The dragon was traded for 2 kills.
5,000 gold lead as well by Nigma Galaxy. That is really high right now. Especially, it's just 6.5 minutes to the game. And it's been long actually since we had seen this kind of gold lead. And especially in this tournament right now, we haven't seen it just yet. And NGX is really doing the work.
Yep. And now they're baiting out Lisao to try and go be aggressive against side. Lisao, though, being very patient and being very disciplined in the process. They're not going to be spotted whatsoever. Another potential dive against Lisao could happen here.
Oh! And immediately they follow through. Dawning Shadow gonna be a little too late there to get the tower even flashed away by wind the moment the tower fell down.
No Rift Herald needed, and there you go.
Oh,
another invade. NGX is just playing with food right now. This is unheard of. This is utter domination from an APAC team against a Chinese team.
Absolutely thrilling to see NGX. They're doing it right now. They're stepping closer towards the goal, fighting back here and representing APAC absolutely well right now. 8,000 gold lead. Every single member of NGX is ahead by gold against Trace Esports right now, and we haven't seen this kind of situation ever.
Draw is even richer than Aaron right now. Like, this guy, I mean, this is a go next angle for Trace Esports. I know, and we hope that, you know, we will find more information as we look into Draw. He's going to be hit by the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, but it doesn't matter at all, right? At this point, NGX can just do whatever they want. They can even build items for fun, even go for a critical Renekton or whatever. But I mean, like, there's really nothing that Trace Esports can do now, unless barring NGX collapse mid-game. It is pretty much a done deal. This could be potentially be the first time that we will be seeing again an APAC team or a team outside of China winning against a Chinese team.
You're basically holding Trace Esports right now by the neck. And the only thing that will allow Trace Esports to come back in this game is if NGX loses their grip. It's very unlikely that they do, But that is still something to consider here with Trace Esports. We cannot deny their scaling in the late game. And even if we're still just at 9 minutes, they can just still fight back. Tower gonna be falling down. That's a nice chain of CC. Even with the chain of corruption here towards the back line, they will immediately blow up the Gragas. NGX is just too far ahead.
Yep. That could be the perfect engage in another opportunity or in another situation, but you can see that NGX, with the gold advantage that they have the luxury to commit overextensions or mistakes after mistakes. It doesn't matter at all. Like raw stats, item-wise, the state of the game-wise, it's all NGX. 10-0, 10k gold lead, pre-10 minutes. My man, this is definitely a treat if you are a fan of APAC.
This is Annie. This is something we don't normally see. A 10,000 gold lead at 10 minutes into the game. This doesn't happen. And NGX, I have said this before a while ago, defying expectations, but NGX just keeps on doing it in this series. And they're really close towards winning this game. You just have to be very stable. Aaron might need to escape now since there's like 3 people there, and Feng has his eyes set on him. The body slam flash is there, but the cast is a little off. That's smart gonna gets away. 4 people, not a problem for Aaron.
Still very slippery, especially in this long lanes. We all know that Zed really has a very good kit against this all ends. And if you are the Dr. Mundo, there's really nothing that you can do. Even if you throw infected cleavers left and right, it's not really a good hold against the Zed. Against almost all members by NGX. It still surprises me why Trace Esports went for the Dr. Mundo. It's something out of the ordinary, and I really believe that, you know, this win by NGX was really a win that happened because Weibo was not around. Weibo is not here to really help out Trace Esports.
This is uncanny. I think I don't want to say this up front right now, but it kind of seems to be a big mistake here by Trace Esports. They drafted a really nice composition early. It was a close game, but this time we're seeing such a disaster coming in for them. Rose will be saved by Meng. Good job with the cast, but still they lose the tower in the lane.
Yep.
And Nigma Galaxy still stepping on the gas.
And GX now trying to destroy the tower in the mid lane as well. And there's nothing that Trace Esports can do. Scaling is on their side, yes, but it's in the situation in where they would be at least equal. But they are far from it. They are 13k, 14k behind the opposition. As we look into the reap, a 1v1 between Aaron and a manaless Lisao. That should be an easy kill. Again, we did say this. NGX targeted down Lisao, and Lisao was not allowed to play Wild Rift at all.
Absolutely prohibited from playing Wild Rift. I thought, oh my god, that goal difference. Now that is art. I mean, there's 2 types of art, like the seesaw and this landslide of a gold lead. This one is something that we rarely see.
Even against APAC teams, this is just on a different level. NGX is now playing with food. And is still very serious. You could see the player cams, no smiles, nothing, no shenanigans at all from NGX. All business. And this is what you expect from the best team in APAC.
Oh, Lisao gonna be in trouble. Burning to death, Aaron will pick up the kill. And yeah, it's really nice to see NGX is not, being overzealous or something. They actually go in towards Wind. Dawning Shadow gonna be used to try and survive, but he won't. As now Demonkite throwing on those arrows. Not connecting some of them, but the Shock Blast will do. As Juschie flashes away, respecting the possible retaliation of Trace Esports. They transition towards mid. What a nice damage actually towards the tower.
And the tower on the bot lane is close to being shattered. There you go. Tower bot lane, tower top lane. Destroyed by NGX. Only 1 inhibitor tower, forcing them to back away. But if you are NGX, you know what's up, right? All that needs to be done here is for them to make the finishing touches towards the Nexus of Jayce Esports. And this will be the very first win of APAC against China in WRLA.
To think that it's only 14 minutes into the game and they have already bashed through the inhibitor towers here of Jayce Esports. They can even pick up a Baron along the way if they do want to, but it's not really required since they're just this huge now in this game. But they are respecting, they are playing seriously here in this game, not letting loose of that forced grip or the next year of Jayce Esports. Renekton gonna be connecting as Rose tries to sleep them off, but absolutely no effect.
That's the Gragas. That should be one tanky member from the side of Jayce Esports, and Rose, even caught in the process stasis, but will die in the process as well. And there you go. Hyde is just going to celebrate amongst his teams. This should be the game-winning march on the top side.
Yep. Or mid, whatever they actually want to go to. This is NGX, still what they want. This is what they deserve, and they have been very serious in this series. They will, in a dominating fashion, defeat Jayce Esports in a 2-0 sweep.
What a statement by NGX. There you go. Now Smiles was finally revealed by the members of Nigma Galaxy. A very well-deserved 2-0. And man, oh man, what a dominating game number 2. We did not expect that at all. We were bracing for another